All right, hey guys, I'm back with another podcast. I'm here with Andura again. Say hi, Andura.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
We're here to talk about his new mixtape / album that he just released on all platforms, Spotify, SoundCloud, anywhere you can find music is where it will be found. So I really just wanted to bring him back so we could talk about the production aspect of it, writing the songs, and how it all came to its head. But as usual, we'll start off with our daily wavelengths. What have you been listening to over the past few weeks?
Let me check. To be honest, I've been listening to my own album. That's
great.
For constructive criticism of my own album. Of course, I've been listening to all the new music. I've been listening to Cardi B's new album. Drake released some new songs. Nice for What's a good song. The Weeknd released an album. I think it's like a good season for new music.
Yeah.
I was also listening to like old R&B music too. I was listening to Escape. You know Escape?
Yeah,
the group?
Escape.
Yeah. I was listening to them.
Which album?
I was listening to... I'm not sure what album this is. Humming Coming At You.
Was that the second album?
I'm not sure. It came out in 1993.
I think that's the second album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. It might be the second album. I need to hear it.
I think it's the second. It's definitely not their first.
Okay, so it had to be the second one.
Mm-hmm.
That might be like one of the later tracks on the album.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm trying to remember what the song is now.
Oh, the song was Just Kicking It.
Just Kicking It?
Yeah, do you want me to play it?
Just Kicking It. I love that song so much. That's a great song. A classic. Any like throwbacks you were listening to, except for the Escape song?
Kind of. I was listening to a playlist on Apple Music recently. Mm-hmm. It was hip hop R&B hits from 2010. So I guess that's like a throwback, and it has like songs like Usher, OMG, or like Black and Yellow with Khalifa. I feel like that song. I feel like that year had a lot of hits, just for no reason.
That was a good year for music.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably like the last decade I was into like listening to radio.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, all right.
Started listening to music, yeah.
So, pretty much what I've been listening to. I don't know if you know Eric Bellinger.
Yeah, I do.
His newest album.
I didn't know he dropped the album.
Yeah, so he has a newer album. He has a song with Tink and Mila J called "Ain't My Ex."
Really?
Yeah, so that's a great song. So I love that song. It's on Spotify, on iTunes, and all that. And if you guys haven't heard that, another album I've been listening to. I've been still listening to Toni Braxton's album.
Yeah.
That just came out.
I think it came out December, right? Did it come out December?
No, it just came out like less than a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
I think we were talking about one of her singles.
You were thinking about one of her singles.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Deadwood. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That came out in December, around December. What else was that? What has like Frozen? I can't remember at this moment. But some of the throwbacks I've been listening to, even though I'm listening to Toni Braxton's new stuff, I've been listening to her old stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been listening to like a single called 7 Whole Days.
Okay.
Then Just Be a Man About It. That's another one. He Wasn't Man Enough, which is one of her bigger singles.
Right.
And some of her like ballady classics, like Unbreak My Heart and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been listening to that. Some old Charlie Wilson songs.
Yeah.
So that's always good to listen to. Then I've been listening to some New Edition stuff too.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty much what I've been listening to. So did you get a chance to see Beyonce?
Yeah, I did. I watched it.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I've seen clips of it because I know it was like 2 hours.
It was
long,
like 2 hours long.
I've seen clips of it. I wanted to see the title version, but I don't have title because like the title has like the professional version. Yeah, recording of it.
That's what I thought.
But I saw like part of the live stream and it was inspiring.
Yeah,
It was definitely inspiring.
I wanted to see. I haven't had a chance to do it because I was going to try.
So you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Even clips of pictures of it?
I saw clips. I saw pictures of it. Like I saw
with like the Destiny Child come out.
Yeah, Destiny Child came out.
Yeah,
and I was like hyped about that because like Destiny Child is like my childhood. So like they were like for how my cousins grew up with like TLC and Escape and like SWV and stuff like that. It was pretty much like our generation's like TLC and stuff like that. So like seeing that they're still performing together whenever they have like a big moment, and then also it was like the 20th anniversary of like their album.
On that day?
Yeah, I think it was the 20th. It was either of them being a group or it was being
for their first album.
Yeah, for their first album. I probably mixed up about it. Then I saw the clip with Solange and her dance off to Get Me Bodied, which was amazing.
Yeah, she has to be top two, top one.
Mm-hmm.
It's either Michael Jackson or Beyonce at this point.
Yeah, that's what people have been saying that because there was like a lot of articles that came recently out. It's Beyonce on par with Michael Jackson at this point.
Definitely on par. I don't know because like there's like a differentiation. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Like there's like a difference between like their like time generations. So like of course we're gonna like progress in like how we present like a live performance. So like like how back in the day like we didn't have like pyrotechnics or well not in Michael Jackson's generation but just like in general we didn't have like pyrotechnics or like visuals and things like that. But I feel like they're at least performing on the same level, and then Beyonce has like that progression, like that natural progression of just live performance throughout the, like history. Yeah.
Because she's definitely, I have to say, over the course of her career, because since I've been a fan of hers since Destiny's Child, before they broke off, after their last album together, she's always, like, the performance has gotten better as as the albums have gone on. Like, it seems like every new album is bigger. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I really respect the fact that she highlighted HBCUs, and then sung the Black National Anthem, especially being the first Black woman to be on Coachella stage. That's a no-brainer.
That's another incredible.
That's like a big, huge thing. I looked on Coachella because I was trying to see because I think she's doing it again this weekend.
I think for this weekend.
So I think she's because I saw the same thing with Cardi B because Cardi B's doing it the 22nd and then she's doing it Saturday again. Okay. So this Saturday she's doing it. So I'm going to try my best to try it. Yeah. Because I'm sure it's going to be completely different. She's not going to do it exactly the same. Yeah. But just to see all the elements of it, I just want to see it, and I'm going to try and see if I can get back on Tidal somehow. And try to see it for the first time.
To watch
the first one. Because I really wanted to see, like, that performance, and I was going to try and react to it. Because you know how I have the YouTube, so I was going to try and react to it, like, as a reaction video. So I might just react to, like, some of the clips from, like, the beginning of it and, like, when Destiny's Child came out. So that should be interesting. But let's get into your album, sir. Okay. So what made you decide to
make an album
at this point?
So I feel like SoundCloud's like a great platform to upload music and things like that. But I feel like still Spotify and Apple Music are still like what people would gravitate towards when they want to listen to music. Because I feel like SoundCloud's still kind of out of the way. Like they would have to go to a different app to listen to their music. So I wanted to release like a concrete body of work so that I could upload it to Apple Music and Spotify to like solidify or put like my footprint like in like the music industry. Because releasing singles on SoundCloud are okay and people get famous off of that. But if I really want to solidify like and brand myself in a bigger way, then I would have to get on those music streaming services. So that was like the reason.
Yeah. And then like I think another thing with SoundCloud is it's kind of, even though Spotify is a little bit overpopulated as well.
Yeah, Spotify is definitely one of the biggest.
Yeah, but Spotify is pretty much the biggest streaming
Mm-hmm.
service that people at least our age listen to, and like SoundCloud's a little bit more for like the more like starting up like independent.
I feel like SoundCloud would just like get your music there, but not to actually grow it.
Yeah,
because Spotify has like curated playlists, and then they have professional people at Spotify headquarters who are constantly looking for new music to put on those playlists.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's like the best way to grow,
and
SoundCloud is just a way to have yourself out there in the first place.
So what I'm going to do is something different for this whole podcast. I'm going to go through each one of the songs on his album and get his like input about what went into creating it, the process, if it was a hard process, the production aspect of it.
Okay.
So the first track, "Talk to Me." So I've listened to most of the album. So my favorites. Let me just say what my favorite songs are off of this. So second is like my top favorite off this album.
Okay.
So far. I like the Having Interlude.
Mm-hmm.
I love interludes anyway. So that's a good thing.
I feel like they're always needed for a good album.
So Having Interlude. Then another one is Change It. So like I said, so we're going to start with Talk to Me, but I really just wanted to tell you that those are my favorite songs off.
Cool. Nice. Okay, so Talk to Me is it's actually my debut song, like concrete song, because I've been producing for a long time, since I was like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But Talk to Me is like the first song where I produced and recorded and released a song. And Talk to Me, I wasn't really sure what I was exactly going for. I was just trying to make music in general. I wasn't trying to do anything specific. But it was kind of inspired by All That Matters by Justin Bieber, with like the guitar, like the way the guitar sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to make like I guess like a pop R&B song just to put my foot in the door. Mm-hmm. And I kind of have like a rap verse, like kind of like a rap verse in the song too. So I just wanted to show as much as I can my versatility in making music. And yeah.
How was the production process of it?
I actually made that beat like 2 or 3 years prior. Before, if you actually go on my SoundCloud, it's like one of the first songs that I uploaded, like the beat. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it's actually even up on on private, but let's see. Let's see if it shows me the date. No, it's on private, but it was originally called Midsummer Night, and it was 2 or 3 years ago that I uploaded it, and I lost the actual project file for that because of like my laptop crashed. But I still had it on SoundCloud. So for Talk to Me, I just ripped the audio from my SoundCloud and then actually modified it, because this is actually a little bit faster if you listen to it. Wait.
So it was originally called Midnight.
It was actually just like an instrumental, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, yeah. So it's a little bit faster and high-pitched.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting. That's how I got it. I don't really remember how I even got into that process of making that song, because it was like 2 years ago from when I released that song, which was like in 2016 actually. Mm-hmm. So near the end of 2016. So that was like 2014 when I made that song.
That's interesting. That it was built off of an instrumental that you really weren't trying to make a song off of.
Yeah.
And now you just ripped it and made a new song off of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. So I'm going to play, if you guys haven't got a chance to listen to the first track, I'm going to play it for a second. So let's get it to Talk to Me.
You can see how it's slower and it's like pitched down. I recorded this in my dorm room at Rowan. Actually, so.
like the old school bed creep.
Yeah.
You would spend time with the body. Oh, you just gotta call me back. Oh yeah. I just wanna change that day. Oh yeah. That's your Instagram.
And instead of a snare, I have like a water drop. Yeah, I just added like different sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, come and talk to me, girl. Let your body speak if you need, girl. Wanna be the one to keep you comfortable. Girl, don't sleep on me 'cause I'm the one you want. Oh, come and talk to me, girl. Let your body speak if you need, girl. Wanna be the one to keep you comfortable.
Alright, that's a little tease for you guys to listen to. Looking at what's on SoundCloud, it seems like this is a popular song with the listeners so far. So let's get on to the next track, These Days.
Okay, so These Days, it's actually a sample of a sample in terms of production. So I was gonna originally sample there was another song that I was making, and it was sampling a remix of 2005 by Childish Gambino. It's like one of the remixes that he made, like the picnic version.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know it. Do you know it?
I know the original one off of the album. Like,
Yeah, he released an EP and has a remix of that song, which is like it's more like a beach summer vibe.
Beach vibes.
Yeah, but with the same lyrics and everything. Mm-hmm. So then I sampled that for that unfinished song, that unreleased song, and then for this song I took that unreleased and I sampled that. Oh, so wow. That voice that you hear like in the background that's reversed and pitched down is actually my voice, and like the chords is like the actual like the 2005 chords.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there was not much of a story for this one. I just wanted to make like an upbeat type of like club type of song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this. These days, guys.
And actually, at the end of the song, I like reverse part so it plays like normal. So you'll hear like the 2005 chords.
Waiting for you, babe. Something new to say these days. You will talk all talk. Waiting for you, babe. Something new to say these days. You will talk all talk.
I was actually originally going to call the song All Talk, but then I had a song called Talk to Me on the same album, and I was going to put it back to back, so I changed the name so that it wouldn't like be like two songs like that.
I like the backbeat.
Got a girl spine, I know how to brag. Hey, you don't care when I get. You got me a set away. Hey, anyway, body ride like a hurricane. Who's staring at the motor right?
If you notice about the majority of these songs, there's only one verse and then the chorus, like two choruses. Because I just felt like, as a first impression, people usually don't listen to a whole like body of work. Like they would just listen like the beginning and then see if they like it or not. So I didn't waste my time really, like making a second verse. So a lot of these songs are like 2 minutes or like barely 3 minutes.
These days, you'll talk all talk.
If you skip to the end, like near the end, you'll hear like I'll go like a little bit back, and you'll hear it like it's reversed. That's actually that part reversed.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that was like the song that I was gonna release. It was Always You,
Yeah.
and then I just sampled that part because I think I was gonna sample. I think I lost that was one of the songs that I lost too.
Oh,
so
wow.
I sampled that song.
So you pretty much.
So I sampled myself a lot.
That's interesting. So you sampled it yourself.
Yeah, because I wanted to salvage all the things that I had on my. Because I was like all my work from like when I started all the way until it was like 2016, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost all those things. So I tried to make use of it.
That's interesting that you sampled all that. You figured out a way to make it new, but still keep some of the elements. But that's interesting. Now to one of my favorites off the album, Second. So, what is the story behind this one?
Like, lyrics-wise?
Lyrics-wise, production-wise.
Okay, so basically, what I'm saying is, like, really, like, actually, like, a direct, like, message to, like, somebody that I was talking to before. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think I, like, recorded this, like, right after, like, instead of, like, texting back or whatever, I just made this song. So you can kind of tell, like, how, I feel like there's, like, a lot, you can hear, like, the passion in it, almost.
That's what I like.
But with this song samples a video game, and the production is not complex at all. It's just a sample of that song, and then it just has like the drums and the 808s. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty simple production wise. But
what video game was it from?
Persona. I don't know if you heard of it.
I know Persona, but which was it? Like the first one, the third one, or the first?
The third one.
Third. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I made it in June, so I really wanted to make a summer song. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives it that summer vibe too.
Yeah. Especially since you released it now. It's like early spring, about to be summertime. So let's get into this song, Second, which is a third song. Because it does have that like summery vibe.
I don't know what it was about it. It was kind of inspired by one of Bryson Tiller songs. I think it was called "Don't Get Too High," because it had like these like you hear like the chords are kind of like boom boom boom. Yeah. Boom. He has that in that song. So I was looking for a sample that had something like that. I feel like this would be a really good festival song. Mm-hmm. Like when I listen to this song, I just imagine myself like at a festival like Coachella or something like that.
I'm not trying to rebound, I'm just checking in now. You wanted me to be sound, oh now it's the other way around. You told me to block your back, oh girl you're a little too mad. You think I want more chances, I don't need no distractions. Yeah, we have problems, just asking about how you been. Shawty is thinking I'm trying to come back and get married for life with some kids. Used to be friends and you just wanted me bad, I know what it did.
I like my flow on this, the cadence.
Now they all up in her biz. Now I'm just trying to face it. All of it down in the basement. Thought I was back to replace it. Told me to go ahead and pay and go, we have been through a lot in the past. Don't pick it up and be mad at it all, just to throw it back. You don't wanna be in second place no more.
Alright, that's another sample of that. One thing I can say from listening to most of the album, from what I've heard so far, it seems like as the album goes forward, it seems that you seem a lot more confident in what you're doing, and like, the production seems to grow as well each track.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
which I really respect about it.
I think the way that I sorted out the track list was that it would start off R&B-ish, and then get into like a little slow tempo section where like the interlude comes in, and then I would come back with like change it, and then it's like a little bit more upbeat and more rap, and then I ended up the song with like another pop song. I have like 2 pop songs on here, and then there's a bonus track which has like is like a remix of Icy Girl, which is like using the same beat as My Neck, My Back. So, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So another good song off this album is called Run It Back. So what's the story behind this one and the production story?
So basically, so the sample is Chris. Oh shoot, I think I forgot the name. Crisscross. I think it was Crisscross, right?
It sounded like Crisscross. That's what I was thinking of.
It does say sample Crisscross with a K. And the songs don't change. Basically, I don't know how I found that sample. I think I was just doing YouTube digging. I feel like that's like a term now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how people, like, you know, how like back in the day, like they would look for like vinyls. I feel like it's like YouTube now. Like you look for YouTube. But I just found that song and thought it was perfect to make a beat out of it. I usually make the instrumentals first, by the way. So like I make the beats first, and then that gives me a canvas to write lyrics on.
Mm-hmm.
And the song just about just like, you know, going back, like thinking about going back in time, and like if things were different, then like, you know, we would be together, stuff like that.
It's like R&B stuff. Like
Yeah.
the old good R&B songs where it's like I want you back, but I
Yeah.
don't know if I really want you back.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into Run It Back. And if this sounds familiar, it was actually on the RMG. And what track? Do you know what track it was on? I forget what track.
I think it was. For this flow on the verse, I took like a rap verse that I heard. I think it was like a remix of Chirac. You know that song? And I took that rap and then like made it melodic. So that's why it sounds a little familiar.
Let me just run it back one time. Let me just run it back one time. Been this way for the whole time. If I could've ran away back, it would be mine. Hey, let me just run it back one time.
I really like the 90s, because since it is a Chris Paul song, you get that 90s vibe. Like the background.
Been this way for the whole time. If I could've ran away back, it would be mine.
And also like the synth is kind of like ambient too. So it's like it's more
Yeah, I kind of like ground it out in reverb, so that's like in the back, but you can still hear clearly what they're saying. Actually, this song has a second verse, so.
Don't be afraid, I'm out of line. I'm talking crazy, but the color's right. Just wanna save, one out of time, no time or place, but the feeling's right. Looking now, where could we be? We kicked it all last Sunday night. Stayed in time, yeah, let it be. We be getting down, just outside. I don't know. Hey, I'm not the type to be losing my way. I just been thinking of what could have reminded. Made up my mind since I seen you in May. Finally obey, you know I kept my promise. Gonna be trying to be honest. We more than friends, yeah, none of us would have had a different no drama. Let me just run it back one time.
So that's another sample of Run It Back. So we're gonna get on to the next track, which is Drop.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Drop, that is the first song that doesn't have a sample. So that's like an original composition.
So it's original. So this is the first original track off of it. So
I really wanted to have like a summer song where it's like a pop summer song with I don't know, I just like that sound. It was kind of inspired by, if you listen to the Black Panther album, if you listen to Redemption, it has like Sakari.
Yes.
And yeah, it was inspired by that sound. And I just always wanted to make a song that had like a tropical type of vibe to it. And I didn't really spend a lot of time on the lyrics here because I just wanted to make more like a club song. But Drop is referring to like how kind of like when you get into a relationship with somebody, or like you start talking to somebody, but then they bring like their like woes from like their past relationship and then like kind of bring it on you. And like, let's say like you're trying to talk to somebody, but they're like, oh yeah, like I just got out of a bad relationship, and like you kind of like to drop that like all that weight on us. And like I guess it's like kind of like a double meaning. If like you're just thinking of a literal term, like when you're dancing, like you just like, you know,
you're waiting for the drop to happen.
So yeah,
like so it's like a kind of like.
Did you listen to this one? Which ones have you listened to?
I haven't listened. The ones that I have not listened to is past. I haven't listened to Change It. I haven't listened to Masani and MSND.
Okay.
So I got through most of the album. I just didn't get to the last 3 tracks. So I listened to
up to that point. Okay.
So let's get into Drop. It starts off very like pop ballady as well too.
She ain't that much spot. Turn heads on that spot. I've got to play the ball. She not just anybody. So smooth it's all
I try to diversify it in terms of genre too.
I've got to play the part. She got me so steady. You know how that shit go. Let me say it. Let me say it. Go. You know how that shit go. Let me say it. Girl, let me say it. You love to drop that on me. 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 You love
I could definitely see this track being played with like, you know that J Balvin song?
The one that Beyonce,
Mi Gente?
yeah, the one that Beyonce,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like right after this,
mm-hmm.
Mi Gente will come.
Yeah. I kind of want to make like a sad, because it's kind of like sad sounding too, a little bit.
So end that, man. So getting on with going back to drop. So what when it came to making like the chords and like the chord changes, what
The chords are really simple. It's like just a 2-chord progression. I don't know exactly what the chords are because like when I'm creating, I just like kind of just go with it. I don't really try to structure it too much. Well, I have those chords, and then I have like synths that are playing like arpeggio those chords. So it's like doom 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 doom. And it's just a lot of layering. You can kind of tell like how like it has like that piano part, and then also has like a synth, and then like strings on it playing the same chord. So I just wanted to make it like sound really full. And yeah,
it has like a really ambient sound as well in between like the verse.
Yeah.
And like the chorus. So let's get on to the 6th track of this called Foreign Exchange.
Okay, so Foreign Exchange. I made this song about a specific person. The person, I asked the person if I could use their picture for the cover art for the. I don't know if you've seen it.
I did see it.
Yeah, so that's the person that's it about. So like I wanted to make like a movie poster type, like a noir movie poster type of thing. She's from Toronto, so she has like you could see in that picture it's me, her, and then the CN Tower.
Yeah, because then I was looking when I first listened to it and I looked at the picture. I was like, wait, this is interesting. Who's this girl?
Yeah,
maybe
so
it's about her.
Yeah,
but, I didn't know. So
that song is specifically about her. And basically. I'm not even sure what it's about. It's just like you would have to listen to it to describe it. This is like one of the few like sad songs that are on it, but it's still kind of upbeat. It has like the same. I don't know what I could compare it to. I think we just have to play it.
All right, so I'm going to play
and then we'll talk about it after. Yeah.
So this Foreign Exchange.
Well, this has a Faith Evans sample.
Wanna stay for my good side. Shawty, you would know you a dime, baby, 2 sides. Entertain when I'm speaking, I'm romantic. Entertain when I'm down with your antics. Wanna stay for my good side. Shawty, you would know.
This is like a perfect sample though, like it was mostly like acapella, so it was easy to sample. I would just have to figure out what the chords were, which is like the hardest part.
Girl, I'm just trying to be friends. Where did we stop? I'm just thinking about us. I'm just trying to be there again. I have to say this. I cannot find your replacement. Lost in the ways, it's amazing. How you let us go to wasting, girl. I know I let it all go this time. Girl, we've been dissing this morning, man. All I am asking is peace of mind. Start over, I told you we just need to focus. Baby, you know this, oh no. Wanna stay for my good side. Shawty, you would know you a dime, baby, 2 sides. Entertain when I'm speaking, I'm romantic. Entertain when I'm down with your antics. Wanna stay for my
that's
good
another
side.
sample of
Shawty, you would know you a
Foreign
dime, baby, 2 sides.
So how you I like how you mixed it, like.
Yeah.
I could if you know the actual song, you know that it's a Faith Evans song, but the way that you sampled it, it sounds it sounds very Erykah Badu-ish.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll say that after listening, I remember what the song was about. like specifically, it's about like how like people expect you to be like one way like all the time, and like whenever like if say like you're like not acting that way, then it's kind of like they expect you to always be that way. So I'm saying like there's always like two sides. So like like a person or whatever. So like like you only want to stay for like that side of me. So and production wise, it was kind of inspired by I don't know who created the sound, but like How About Now by Drake. It has like it's like I don't know how to describe it. It has like a bass where it's just like doom doom doo doo doo. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like I'm pretty sure there's a name for it. But
there's probably a name for it. I can't think
so
of it.
I took that sample. I actually made the song live, like on like I think I did it like an IG live, and I was like, so I looked for the thing for the sample. I got the sample, and then I put the drums on it. I slowed it down to everything. The hardest part was finding what the chords were exactly, because it was a cappella.
Yeah.
Or well, at least the way that I mixed it was. So it was hard to find like what the chords were. But once I got that, added the bass line, and then I think that was it. And then it has like that bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is another one of my favorites. One of my 3 favorites is the Heaven interlude. So, what made you decide to make an interlude for the album?
To be honest, I probably would have put vocals on that song, but I just got lazy. But I actually wanted to have an interlude, so I just like kind of let the album breathe a little bit because it was that's kind of like the pinnacle point of like the album, I guess. Like you really see in a chronological order. Yeah. That's like the most intense part, I guess, emotional part. So I guess it just like lets it breathe a little bit. It also has like the same vibe, or like the instrumental has the same vibe as Foreign Exchange. It's like produced in the same way, so it's kind of just like after like let it settle and then switch it up afterwards. So,
all right, so let's get into this interlude, guys.
There's also samples Persona 4.
No, Persona sample.
Another interesting thing is like if you can make out what the lyrics are, and that it's only 2 lines, and it's can't get my mind out of those memories, and then now it's kind of telling them to take my dream. So it's kind of like also like showing like the transition. Like I was kind of like talking like in the past tense, like everything, and then like now like forward and talking about like from Change It, and then like the songs afterwards is kind of like more progressive, like. Or in the present.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, let me pause that real quick. So, since you're talking about now, just like most after Heaven.
Yeah, it kind of like transitions
into like the present day.
Yeah.
And then present tense. So, what came into like the lyrical part of it and the production part of it for Change It?
Okay, so Change It started off as like a joke that me and my friend had, because I don't know, I was just talking to her one day, and then I was saying something about like changing something, whatever, but like when you just go like in like this like musical mode and like you just like sing it, and I sang it, and then I just like it was like just a joke, like I kept doing it, and I was like, I think I'm gonna make it a song, so then I took Never Gonna Change It as the lyric and made it like the hook, and then I just based everything off of that.
Interesting.
It's kind of inspired by God's Plan. I think I made the song after God's Plan. You kind of tell in like just like the way the production sounds, but I don't think it sounds too similar. At least I hope it, But yeah, we can listen.
So here's Change It. I played a little slight bit of it earlier, but here it is again.
when I'm talking about God's plan. They sampled Persona 2. Actually, I sampled 3, 4, and 5.
I would never change for a second straight hoe. Know my destination, I just need a touch roll. I'm already glowed, and you know that I'm never gonna change it. Yeah. I'm never gonna change the life I live. Never gonna change it. Yeah, yeah. I'm never gonna take it of how you give. I can see your ways I put up with it. Yeah, you can't be tough with it. Hey, I got my love with it. Hey, and I'm never gonna change it. Yeah. Never gonna change it. Yeah, yeah. Got a lot of pride and know I just need myself. Got a split percentage, I got triple digit wealth. When it comes to music, I don't need nobody help. I just need the women so that I can kiss and tell. Always been the same for a long time. Only thing changed, I'm an all-time great. I will never follow what the paradigm say. Said just keep it moving and apologize. Whoa, every part of me is set in stone. I would never change for a second straight hoe. Know my destination, I just need a touch roll. I'm already glowed, and you know that I'm never gonna change it. Yeah. I'm never gonna change.
So that's another sample of Change It for you guys to listen to. I think, to be honest, I can definitely hear the inspiration from God's Plan, but I think it's you can definitely tell there's a difference between production wise, just the feel of it. The feel
I tried to make it
different.
Yeah. Okay, so next track.
Next track is
Mazzini.
Mazzini?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mazzini is he's a guy who started like a clothing company in like near my area in the mall, and I just kind of like took inspiration from just like him as like to use it as like a song. And basically this is just like a normal like rap brag. There's a braggadocio, I think that's what they call it.
Braggadocious.
Yeah, braggadocious, yeah. So that's like, this is just like a typical, not really much. Well, there's a story behind it. So I made this beat, and then somebody came to me and they said they wanted to make a song. So I tried to like change the beat. So I sped this, like the beat was like really slow at first, but then I sped it up to make it more hype, I guess, so that when we were going to record it. And then I recorded my verse so that she could base her verse off of like mine, or like, you know, get like an idea of like the direction of the song. And then I liked what I made, so I just put it on my album. But like we're eventually going to finish that song, and then but that, I don't know when that's going to happen, but I just thought that would be a good addition to my album, because it kind of diversifies, like, because most part it's like everything up to this point has been like R&B, pop-ish, and then now it's getting more into like rap, and then like, so yeah.
Interesting. So we might hear a different version of the track soon.
Not a different version, but that's like an addition in verse, yeah.
Interesting. All right, so let's get into.
I made this song in like 2 hours, actually. That was like the fastest song. Like, I don't know. I feel like rap is like pretty easy to make in terms of, because like you don't have to think about melodic structure and things like that. So it kind of comes easy to me to make rap songs like that.
So how is it pronounced again? I don't want to.
Mazzini.
Mazzini. Okay, so here's Mazzini, guys. And this is my first time hearing this one as well, so interesting.
Rap. All my jam is any winners, 10 and never see me, I just barely finished. Wait a minute. All my jam is any winners, 10 and never see me, I just barely finished. Wait a minute. I got a game in the bag. I got a game in my Birkin. I just been working and working. We got a wave and a surfing. I got a game in the bag. I got a game in my Birkin. I just been working and working. We got a wave and a surfing. Albums well out of weight. Sold all my money away. I couldn't say. Shawty been hitting me back. Hit me, I'll be in your state. I do not play. I just been talking to Max. I just been chilling for days. I don't waste, man. Been in my Graceland. Figure the fuck out my way. Hey, run again. thinking like it was basic. All the competition looking like they at their places. Everyone admitted that Andura is the greatest. I'm the only one for my answer might be fake.
So you can definitely tell from that song that's like fits the braggadocious vibe of what you wanted to convey in the song.
Right. Yeah.
So let's move on to the next track, which is called MSND. Is that like an acronym for something?
Yeah, actually, it's Midsummer Night's Dream. And that's a Shakespeare play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just alluding to the summer vibe that it gives. I made the song in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think like July. It came out July 1st. So this was like it's the most pop summer song.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Drop, it's like upbeat. It's just like a generic pop song, but the production and everything, it's pretty complex. So
did the name come from the original instrumental that you made for Talk?
It was originally called. Well, Talk to Me, the instrumental was originally called Midsummer Night. So now I added Midsummer Night's Dream. So yeah.
Okay. So I haven't heard this one yet, guys. So let's get into this track. Hold on, let me make sure this is right.
Don't need excuse.
And this is all you, right?
Yeah.
I need your love to be mine. Can stay on powers over. I got big plan for two.
On the song, I was focusing on vocal production, so harmonies and EQing those and all that.
I really wanna know what's happening. Make this happen. Make this happen. And you know what I think about.
Also writing lyrics, like I feel like pop lyrics also have like a very people really don't like pop just because of like the lyrics, but I feel like it has like a infectious like structure, like the way it's set up.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, like the pop. Because pop is very like repetitive. It's based around being as
but I feel like repetitive is like a good thing.
Yeah.
In a way, and like just like I feel like as long as it's getting into people, then I feel like it's conveying something. Mm-hmm. So I like pop. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why I always add pop elements to all my music because I want it to stick to the person in the end.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Going on the like lyrical part of it and like the vocal production, how long did it take you to figure out lyrically what you wanted to convey, and then vocally how you wanted to?
Lyrically, it kind of took a while because on the bridge where I said like, and you know what I think about you, like it was very articulate on like how many syllables are gonna be in that phrase. Like I want it to be like really catchy and easily, like it's easy to say. Mm-hmm. So I just kept rewriting it in a way that I would be able to make it like real catchy, but like unique sounding, and like so they would lead up to like. I feel like there's a lot of structure that has to go into making a pop song.
Mm-hmm. And when it came to vocal production,
because
I could hear I could hear like a higher voice and
it took a while to do that. Not just to record it, but to like EQ it and everything, like pan it left and right. I would usually have like 6 tracks, like from 3 of them would be my regular voice, or like my regular singing melodic voice, and then the others would be like lower and higher, and then possibly my head voice. And yeah, it took a while to get everything sorted out right to make sure that one track sounds good with the other song. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of stressful nights trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it was in the summer, so like I had time to do it, but I could just imagine.
If you had to do it.
Usually when there's a lot of harmonies, like Christmas Desire, it took me like a long time to get it perfect in terms of harmony because there's a lot of harmonies in that song.
Yeah. And harmony sometimes takes a while to do anyway, especially when you're trying to figure out how you want to harmonize as well with yourself. And then you had Mackenzie on there too, so you were trying to harmonize with her as well. So that's another added fact to it.
Yeah, and she would send me one file, so like I wouldn't be able to ask her to retake something, so I would have to make it work in a way that would work with the song. So it's a lot of me re-recording things or like doing a lot of post-production things. But yeah, we made it work.
So we're going to get into the bonus track. So it says it's a remix. So tell us about what this is the remix for.
So it's a remix of Sweetie's Icy Girl, which uses the beat of My Neck, My Back.
Okay.
And I made this song just like spontaneously on Christmas. Like I was just listening to Icy Girl and I was like, I kind of want to, spit some bars on it. So that's what I did. I did it like in like 2 or 3 hours, like real quick. It's only like a 1-minute song, but I was just having fun with it. So this is a bonus track because it's like the only song that's not my complete song, because the rest of the songs on the album is produced by me and written by me and performed by me, and that's like the whole point of having a self-made, self-titled album.
Exactly.
I keep like coining that term just to like show like my that everything that you hear is like my ability, and that's why I call it a mixtape, because I'm trying to like show it's like kind of like my first impression rather than like a concrete album. So yeah.
So let's get into see what he's gonna do on this track.
Can't stop, won't stop, get guap. Preaching on the beat like I'm on TED Talks. Chivalry and symphony for girls too hot. And I study for that well-versed self-talk. Cause she icy, wifey, shoddy, so enticing. Seen her on the ground, never seen her, I like it. Not no class, so it's all about the timing. Ask me if I'm gonna be a star, now I might be. Yeah, got the whole schematic. I can turn a hater to a whole fanatic. Yeah, got the bodies automatic. I just wanna buy 5-star with no classic. Wait a minute, I've been thinking while I'm talking to them haters, I don't know. Cut them off right after one episode, yeah. If you're gonna be a pilot, be fly. Cut you like a waste man, I can see why. If she got a man's, I'ma be a new guy. Heading in the sand when you try to come by. Baby, what you looking for? I could be a dirty ball. Baby, we can see the world that has some kids at 34. Yeah. Here for the long run. Never had a tool like my ex ran shotgun. Take you out of Calibre, Cobra, and rest.
I kind of miss rap like this, like with that flow.
Get it looking stupid cause you're actually invested. They put us on a pedestal, incredibly perfected. Right, yeah. Body drop it out like, hey, yeah. That's what I talk about, hey, yeah. Andura, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good reminder of old 2000 stuff and then brings back. I love that artists are bringing back some older songs that were like classic songs from like our childhood and like when we were growing up, and now they're like remixing them and like remaking them in their own way. So I really respect that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to making, because I know making an album is hard enough by itself.
Yeah.
But when it comes to distributing your album on like these social platforms, I know it's probably a stressful story, but do you want to talk about how it was to get on Spotify?
Actually,
and stuff like
as of right now, the album is not on Spotify or iTunes at the moment.
Okay.
It was supposed to come out April 13th, as you've seen on like all the promotional, images. But there was so I was distributing through TuneCore. So TuneCore is a music aggregator, and that's how you distribute your songs. They're like the middleman to send it to iTunes, Spotify, and et cetera, et cetera. And basically, there was an issue with the artwork because, there's two issues. It has the parental advisory because I do curse in rarely, but I do curse throughout the album. So I put that there. But I forgot to mark it as explicit, like which one's explicit, which one's not. So I had to fix that. So they would either say, like, take it off or put the mark them as explicit. So I did that. But then they also sent me another thing, which was, like, back-to-back. So I thought they were the same, like, like complaint of like what I had to fix, and that was that the album text has to match exactly what's the text on the artwork.
Oh, okay.
Et cetera, or like vice versa. So, but it doesn't make any sense to me because MSND has like its own artwork because I released it as a single before, and it has other text on it.
Yeah.
But they said that I guess for an album you have to have matching text. So I had Mixtape underneath it. Okay. So like to signify that it was a mixtape, and they said that like you can't have it like that, right? But I did fix the parental advisory thing, and then I sent them an email and said it's done, and I thought I was done. So they changed like the status of it on the TuneCore website as not sent to ready. So I thought everything was good, and then I waited until like the day of the release, and I didn't see it released. And usually it takes a while for them to like send it out. So like I waited like 2 or 3 days, and it was a Friday, so it didn't come out. Yeah. So I can't, and I had to email them, but they only work on business days, so I had to wait over this weekend to say like, like I figured out what happened, like I fixed that because like they didn't signify that there was still a problem, and then finally on today's Tuesday, yes, I said they finally sent me, we reviewed your changes and we finally sent it out, so. It's being sent out to iTunes and Spotify like as of today, so it should be here at like either tomorrow or at the end of the week.
Wow, this sounds like a stressful.
So yeah, it was stressful because I was really disappointed. I wanted to like come out on midnight and then like be able because I sent it in a month before the release, so that's like enough time to even set up pre-orders and things like that. Yeah. So I thought like I had everything prepared, and like now I'd have to do all this. Oh, that sucks. So I did release it on SoundCloud because I didn't want to like, make it like stall it. Yeah. But it's gonna come soon. So by the time you probably listen to this podcast, it'll be like
it sucks.
Well, yeah. But it's fairly simple process going through TuneCore. Like you just upload your track and then you put all the information like your name, stuff like that, and then you just pay them. Well, there's different payment methods for like different aggregators. So TuneCore and CD Baby, they have different things. But I discovered this new aggregator. It was made by indie artists, and it's called DistroKid. And all you have to do is pay one annual fee of like $30, and you can upload as much music as you want.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So
it sounds like something an indie artist would do.
Yeah, because he said that it was practically zero. Like it doesn't cost anything to really actually distribute it. They were just like milking it, like trying to get more money out of it. So I feel like that I might use that as my main distributor as an indie artist.
When it came to mastering the track, did you like go through any? Like I know there's a mastering like website called like Lander and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like
did you like go through any of those to master the tracks?
No, I mastered everything myself.
Oh wow!
As well, so I mixed everything and mastered everything myself.
How long was that process? I know it was hard, like long.
It's not that complicated. Like you're not gonna get the same studio because like in the studio they have like actual physical like all this gear that I wouldn't even know how to use. But basically, I would just master it on the same project as I produced it on. So like I could make adjustments in the mix and master at the same time, so I don't have to like go back and forth. It's somewhat easier doing everything by yourself because you're like communicating with yourself. Like you don't have to like send it to the mixer and the mixer has to like send it to the master. It's just a lot easier if you know what to do. Which I don't really know how to master that well, but because like I would usually just compare it. I would listen to like a commercial track and then compare it to mine. And basically, what mastering is just like how loud it is, right? So like I would just try to make it as loud as possible without distorting, and then so I would just do it one by one. I didn't do it like after I finished all the albums. I would just like finish a song, make sure it's perfect, and then master it, and then like release it or whatever. And then after, when I had all the songs, I would make sure like the volume is like equal
Mm-hmm.
So like finalizing the album as a whole.
Another question is when it comes to the artwork. So, what was the inspiration behind the artwork?
Okay, so I wanted to make sure that it was just me focusing on because it's Andura, it's made by Andura, it's everything by Andura. So I just wanted to have a simple photo. I got the inspiration from a wallpaper from my phone. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, I just really like that gradient of color.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it popped out.
It has a cartoon vibe to it.
Yeah, it really pops out with that gradient. Here, that gradient, that yellow, red to yellow.
No, I like that.
Like how it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then that picture is just the picture that my aunt took of me. But I just thought it was a cool picture.
Mm-hmm.
I used it in the foreign exchange one, and that's why it has like that cartoon look because I was using as if it was painted or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I still use that same photo in that, and then put it there.
So when we're talking about the text for the album, how they were saying that you had to resend it because the text was different.
Yeah.
Was it something wrong with the SoundCloud version? I fixed it. It has different covers.
Yeah,
it has different covers on it. So was that a problem as well?
No, that's for the SoundCloud, because those are sounds that I initially released before.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of these were released before, except for, maybe, 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would just keep the original album. But for the album itself, you send one picture.
Okay.
The only problem was that I had, Mixtape at the bottom right, on the opposite side of where my name was.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just took that out and then moved my name on top.
Oh,
so,
wow.
It just says Andura.
Makes sense. So thank you for coming in to talk about this album.
Thank you for
this
having
is a
me.
new thing that I'm trying to get used to.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you could explain some of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
to people because I think that it's interesting to hear the process from the person who actually made it,
Right.
and the process of getting it sent to iTunes and how that process is, mixing it, mastering it, especially if you're doing it by yourself
Mm-hmm.
and not with a major label or anything or having major distribution. So, what I've heard from it, and now that I've heard all the tracks, now that I can say I can heard all the tracks, those tracks that I said before definitely still are my favorite ones. But I definitely like what you did with the MSND song.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. The vibe of that is very interesting, and it kind of fits some of the elements that you brought in, the ambience of it,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the chords. It kind of reminded me of some kind of a whimsical feel.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes with the actual play, Midsummer Night's Dream, because it's a whimsical play. It's a fantasy play.
Yeah.
About if you guys haven't heard of it or didn't read it in school, it's a play where somebody's turned into a donkey.
Yeah.
The girl falls in love with a donkey, and then by the end of the play, he has his real face back. So it fits that
Yeah. I try to make it sound timeless, I guess.
Yeah.
Has a dreamy sequence to it.
Has a really dream sequence. And then I like that I know you said that it's not, you call it a mixtape because you say it's not a concrete viewpoint.
It's I feel like albums these days should be a concept album, basically.
Yeah.
But this is just a random collection of music that I would just want to show my diversity and and genre wise and talent wise. I can produce and make and sing and rap. So it's more like a demo, basically.
Because it reminds me of how Tinashe doesn't like to be pigeonholed into one genre. She likes to put a whole bunch of different feels into.
I kind of just wanted to present it to people, and then if they whatever they like, I'll make more of that and stuff like that.
So I can't wait for it to actually release on Spotify, so I can actually see it.
It will be this week, I think. Yeah.
So hopefully by the time you guys are able to hear this interview and talk about the album, it will be up. So keep checking on there. And also check it out on the his website. It's Can you tell them about the website and your social media and stuff like that? If they want to follow you.
My website is anduraofficial.com, and all my social media is Andura Official, so it's pretty easy to find me. And yeah, that's it.
So you guys can always find me at my personal Instagram at d.writa, which stands for D Writer, and our page, Millennial Tones Podcast, is at Welcome to the Wavelength. So you can always find us there. If you guys haven't checked out our recent reaction videos, you guys can always check that out at our YouTube channel, Millennial Tones Podcast. And then if you don't listen to it on iTunes or stuff like that, you can also listen to the podcast. I have a playlist with that on YouTube as well. So as always, welcome to the Wavelength. Thank you guys for listening, and support your local artists and support their dreams and aspirations. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Next podcast. Bye, guys.